Hi, it's Alaska Granny. The tariffs are in the news day after day, week after week. Nobody really knows how this is going to shake down. What we do know is we need to be able to plan for some long-term disruption in the prices of products and in our own personal budgets going forward. First of all, start looking through the products that you use. Where are they sourced? Where are they manufactured? Do they come from the United States? Do they come from overseas? Do the components come from overseas, but then they're assembled or produced in other countries? It can be very confusing to even navigate which countries are going to have their prices go up the most. How is it going to affect us? How can we plan ahead? So if you think of how difficult it is for us as individuals, can you imagine what is happening in the business community? Companies still need to make a profit. That's the whole reason they're in business. They employ people, they produce products, they distribute products, and then they have to have a cash flow that's positive. So companies need to try to do some long-range planning. Where are our supplies coming from? Do we need to try to source them from another country that has a lower tariff? It's very confusing. Plus, companies need to be able to plan for the future as prices continue to rise. Not many things are falling. They need to still be able long range to have enough products on hand, to have the employees they need, and then to be able to distribute those products and to be able to even get some of those things. Within my family, the companies that my children work for have just all had downsizing. They're getting rid of a huge percentage of employees in the companies because the fear of what the economy is doing. And so you may be a wonderful worker, but you better make sure that you're being tip-top, you're not whining or making excuses. Be indispensable so that you're not on the chopping block. It's just a fact that if they're going to lay people off, they're going to look and see who is really helping to make our company grow, who is really vital, because no one really is. But the more you make yourself skillful in your company, the more things you know how to do, the more flexible you are, the more you're willing to take on extra loads, the better off you probably are in keeping your job. Not always, but it can help. So certainly try to make yourself indispensable at your job. Have the right attitude and don't be complaining, because people don't like to be around complainers, whether it's your friends or your coworkers. That's just a fact. There's a lot of moving parts, but we can start to figure out if we have debt, we need to get out of debt. We know prices are going up. If you have food in your pantry, make sure that you're checking it, that it's not becoming expired. We want to have fresh food. The foods that you're stockpiling should be foods that you're willing to use, rotate, and replace. That's something I've been doing lately, is I got a little lackadaisical about rotating some of that food. So now I'm trying to make sure that I'm using up some of those old foods. They're getting pushed at the back of the pantry, or they're getting left aside because there's other things that I'd rather eat. Of course, I'd rather have the freshest foods or even go out with my friends. And so then sometimes we hit a snag that we're not really checking the things that we have and being vigilant about our prepping supply, which we shouldn't have to be concerned every single day, but we need to have it as a part of our just routine in life, that we're looking over the supplies we have, we're making sure we have enough. When you notice you're getting down in a low stock on something that you need, whether it's food or soap or just things that you use around the house, make sure that you're getting an extra as a backup so that you don't reach for the last drop of shampoo and realize there isn't another one in your cupboard, in your stockpile. You want to always have a backup so that you have enriched your own life with the security and the just the peace of mind knowing that you have lifestyle insurance. You can have your own supply and reach for that. And then as you take the last one out of your pantry, out of your stockpile, out of your own hardware store, then you can replace those items. That's when you want to start getting another one to put on the shelf. As you take the last one out, get another one. If you have the money, get 2 more. But don't buy more of anything than you can use in a reasonable amount of time. Tariffs are fundamentally unpredictable, And so no one can predict what the future is going to hold. We need to be running what if scenarios through our head. How can we plan? What if this happens? What if that happens? Don't go into gloom and doom and dread and despair, but think about what if. What if I can't get my favorite type of shampoo? What if the coffee becomes more expensive? What if flour isn't available and the price of bread skyrockets? These are things that we can think about how we can prepare to have those things on hand. So try to spend a little bit of time going through your supplies, organizing them, keep things under control so that you know what you have and then you use those items. That's how you become a successful prepper, by having things you need, using, rotating, replacing them, and that gives you the peace of mind that you can go forward. You have made lifestyle insurance. You have created a life that can run as smoothly as possible. Will it always be rainbows, sunshine, happy days? No, we're all going to face challenges. So that's why we run the what if scenarios, and then we can prepare for those the best we can. Then look back through all of the things you've been through in your life. You've likely solved many kind of problems and you've overcome so many hardships. It's unbelievable. Sometimes we don't want to look back because it's too painful, or we don't want to remember those. We just want to look back and remember the good times. But it's also remembering those challenges helps us realize we're stronger than we think. We can face an uncertain future. We don't want to, but we can. And we're going to be stronger because we have faced challenges in the past. So realize that you're getting stronger, smarter, better able to cope, and you're preparing at the same time. So don't be so concerned with tariffs and rising prices. It's just something that we have to deal with. We can't just ignore it, and we can't complain about it all the time, because that doesn't help the world get smoother and better. It doesn't help our lives run better, but we can try to prepare and then realize that we've done the best we can. Let us know in the comments below, what types of things are you planning for? How are you helping yourself deal with the uncertainty of the economy, with the tariffs, the shortages, the rising prices? It's something we can't ignore, but we can help each other deal with it the best we can. I hope you'll like my video, share it. Please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.